Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carmen, and I am 38 years old. I am plus size and pregnant with twins. 2 thumbs up. Just giving an update. Also, now we're at the point where this video is going to focus more on the 17 weeks to about 24, 25 weeks. As you can tell, my bump is bigger. I am sitting down, so I feel like I look just super huge, and that's okay. It is what it is. I'm embracing it, and it's cute. I mean, when can you say in life that, oh, I'm getting extremely large, and it's cute, and it's totally fine because you're pregnant, so hello. I'm embracing that, and I'm really blessed and happy. So right into the video. I have my notes on a phone, so that's how I'll remember, because mommy brain is a real thing. I definitely lose track of thought, my train of thought, things that I'm going to say, what I was doing 2 seconds ago. So it's a real thing. So again, I am pregnant with twin girls. This is my second pregnancy after my daughter, who is now 5 years old. So at 17 weeks, the evening and morning tingling is starting to get worse. At 17 weeks, it's just, that's when I really noticed, like, okay, this is starting. I had bad carpal tunnel with my first daughter. And the doctors said that I will have to start wearing carpal tunnel wrist splints. I did try that and sleeping in my bed at night, and I just found myself waking up and they were off. Like, I guess in the middle of the night I ripped them off because it wasn't comfortable. And was it helping? I don't think so. But again, when you're in a deep sleep or trying to sleep, it wasn't comfortable for me, unfortunately. I have found that just sitting up a little more elevated, sleeping upright, elevated, and keeping my hands like at in a neutral kind of position is the best for me. I still get very bad tingles. I'm further along in this video, but that's when it started. At about 18 weeks, I told the majority of my close family members. You can see there's a couple shorts on my channel where I told my brother, I told my sister, and they were super excited for me. So, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer, being that it's twins, it's high risk. At 19 weeks, I started getting bleeding gums. And even now, I still get them, especially if I'm brushing. I have to brush a little more gently. I feel generally well at 19 weeks. I went to my 20-week fetal growth scan on June 29th, 2023. Baby A, who's on the right side of my belly and she's head down, she was 14 ounces. Baby B, who's on the left side of my belly but going like this, she is 12 ounces. So baby A is measuring about a week ahead, and baby B was measuring current, like where she should be at. In terms of kicks, I started feeling kicks even at like movement. Started feeling movement at 13 weeks because I've been pregnant before. I'm like, yep, that's the babies. But really the last week or so, that 17, 18, 19, 20 week, that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, they're definitely, and you can see the belly moving. It was cute. And that's when I felt little kicks, hiccups, short bursts of movement. Ever since then, I needed a short nap throughout the day. Like a 20-minute nap, 20-minute nap does wonders for me. I would just be so tired midday, and still am. Also, we did see a pediatric cardiologist because one of the babies, baby B, is presumed to have Down syndrome. We are 90% sure, and that's what we're going with, that she will have Down syndrome when she comes out. But because they have heart issues, they're very known for having cardiac issues. My maternal fetal specialist found it a good idea to do a fetal echocardiogram, actually on just both babies. So we did that at 22 weeks, about July 11th. Thank God nothing seemed too concerning to him. He really looked in depth at the hearts of the babies. He said, great news, no issues with blood flow, valves, or obvious holes in the heart for either baby. No follow-up pictures needed before birth, but just due to that Down syndrome diagnosis, it would be good to do ultrasound pics of the heart before leaving the hospital once they're born. Another thing is because, also real quick to insert, our projected scheduled C-section date is at 37 weeks, which is October 26th. My birthday is October 19th, so that would be like such a great birthday gift for me. But even then, if they come sooner than that, we're projecting that they could be in the NICU. I'm kind of bracing myself mentally and emotionally for that. I was scared of them potentially being in the NICU, but a lot of twin mamas have said that that was really a huge learning experience for them, and they're in the best hands. They're in the hospital. But it's still a big challenge, and, who's to really say how things are going to go? I'm going to think positively, though. And, but so while I guess if and when they're in the NICU, potentially, hopefully they will be doing those ultrasounds on the hearts just to see, what else is going on. Because he said things can be missed, things can be overlooked. Sometimes holes close up, and any baby can have holes, but they tend to fill in, I guess, on their own naturally. Fast forward to 22 weeks. The tingling, pain, and swelling is getting progressively worse at nights, and in the hands, it is so painful. I remember waking up one day and I was like, oh my gosh, there's this shooting pain in my hands. It wouldn't go away. I would elevate, I would leave down, I would put ice. It was like maybe 45 minutes of nonstop pain. Told the doctor about it, and they just said you're holding so much fluid in your body. And it's something that's just going to have to kind of be dealt with. Okay. And then they again said try the wrist splints, and we know how that went. Also, I started taking insulin 10 units at bedtime at about 21 weeks because they did find I had gestational diabetes, which I had in my first pregnancy. And however, though, my numbers, you're supposed to test about 4 times a day. My numbers, morning, afternoon, dinner, were fine. It was the first thing in the morning, the fasting numbers, that were like over 100. So we started insulin, and it is what it is. I'm still on it, and it only goes up typically, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. But doing pretty well and watching my carb intake. Sometimes, I have a sweet tooth and I'm going to eat something at least to satisfy that. But then I make sure I have movement afterward and try to just balance it out through the day as much as possible. Another thing. Wow, I wrote a lot of notes here. 23 weeks. Babies are moving and grooving. 24 weeks. This week especially hits home for me, as it means I'm officially 6 months pregnant and I have reached the age of viability. So in other words, when you reach 24 weeks, I wrote here the survival rate if the children are born at 24 weeks. The survival rate used to be only about 30%, but at 24 it jumps to 60%. Yes, there could be severe disabilities that could occur, but the survival rate is so much stronger. And also, the hospital staff treat the birth more intensely. I don't know that they can do as much before then, but I have seen videos of babies born 22, 23 weeks. It's just that's so young. Another thing is I'm also experimenting with how I inject my insulin at this point, because I was just doing it in my thighs and the back of the arms, but I found just doing it in the stomach is the best way to go. It seems like my numbers are where they need to be in during those fasting mornings. And I don't do it directly in my stomach. I take a little chunk of my chubby stomach on the sides, and then you inject it there. It's really not that bad once you start doing it and getting a routine. So let's see here. August 1st. This is going to be more than 10-minute videos. Sorry. I know I love the short videos too, but we'll make it a little longer. August 1st of 2023. I was 24 weeks, 5 days. Baby A, again on my right side, head down, was measuring at 1 pound, 15 ounces. Baby B was measuring 1 pound, 11 ounces. So again, not too far off, just a few ounces, which is nice. Baby A is measuring about a week ahead. Baby B is right on target. So that's the same that it was a few weeks prior. At this point, I was 251 pounds today at the doctor's office. So far, that's a weight gain as of 24 weeks, 5 days of 30 pounds. My doctor said about 35 to 40 is typical, and they don't want me to gain too much weight because I'm already a plus size woman. However, that day, while it was great news with the babies, the doctor sent me to the triage unit upstairs as my blood pressure was high and I had swelling in my hands and feet. They took the blood pressure a couple times and it just wasn't going down. At that point, I felt like I had like white coat syndrome and I was just like nervous, like, oh shoot. Went up to triage. Every 15 minutes, they tested my blood pressure. I was in a bed, obviously, like a hospital bed, and my numbers did go down a bit. So they said they want me to monitor my blood pressures at least once a day and send them over to my doctor. And what else? That they also said I'm probably going to end up being on a blood pressure medication, but for right now I am on baby aspirin. I'm taking 2 a day. And I've been doing that since the beginning of pregnancy. And I'll get to that a little later. So yeah, and the placentas look good and so do the babies. And as of 24 weeks, it was just like a nice time because I felt like the babies were doing well, on track. I was not gaining too much weight. Like I just was in a good place. Symptoms were not horrible. I haven't experienced like really bad headaches like I did kind of the first trimester. But anywho, that's where we're at right now. We're also thinking of baby names. I have a bunch in like my phone, but none that are like, oh my God, sticking with me. But a few people said just wait till the babies are born, especially since they're 2, and see what fits, what feels right. And that's what we're going to do. My husband's big and adamant on the fact that he's naming one, and I'm naming one since I named our first daughter. And I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. But is it really in my head? I'm like, I want to have some input on this. Plus, if he names them one thing, I want to sort of make sure the other one fits and that all 3 daughters, we're not like sounding extremely similar, but, just mom has to have a little input there too. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll update you guys in the next video about my regimen, my medications that I'm taking, and give you a little more update on how I'm doing going to my 3rd trimester. It's like surreal. And we're happy. It's all right, though. We're doing good. Hope you guys have a great day. Love ya. Bye. Thanks for watching.